So the first step in solving the problem in a meeting is to identify and define the problem. That is, you need to know what is the problem. If you don't know what is the problem, then it would become very difficult for you to identify the solution for that. And in that case, it would be better if you need to ask some questions. That is a question of fact, value, and policy. One central idea, right? And use specific words for that and concrete language so that the problem is properly identified. You need to put it in proper words. The questions that you need to ask is, the first question is the question of fact. That is asked to determine what is true or to what extent something is true. That is, if you are identifying a problem, so you need to ask, is it truly a problem or no? Is it just in the mind of the person, or it's just, what people are thinking? Or is it truly a problem? Then if it is a problem, then to what extent something is true about that problem? Then comes the question of value. Determine whether something is right, moral, good, or just often contains, ideas like good, reliable, effective, or worthy. Then you have to ask question of value. That is, how much value can we give to this problem in our organization? That is, can you rely on it, or um, can how much effective would that be if it is solved, and how much benefit would that give uh, to you? So that's how you ask the question of value. And then there is the question of policy. That is to determine what course of action should be taken. That is, what do you need to do in order to solve that problem? That is the question of policy. The second step encompasses to analyze the problem. That is, you need to look into it. What kind of a problem is that? What are the things involved within the problem? So you have to look deep into the problem. What are the factors which are affecting that? And that's how you're going to analyze the problem. To determine criteria for judging solution, the third step, that is, you must set some standards or measures to judge the merits of proposed solution. So if it's in any organization, if there is a problem, then you set some standards for that. From which lens are we looking at it? So let's take the example of a simple example of this online classes. Students are given a lot of assignments and they have to complete. Every teacher is giving a complete assignment because every teacher is asked to give complete assignment. Now the problem lies on the part of the students, that uh, students are burdened. They cannot complete the assignments within the time frame, and if they do, then the quality of the assignments are affected. So this is the problem. Now if there is a meeting regarding that, they need to determine the criteria for judging the solution. Now from whose perspective they want to look at it? From the perspective of teachers or from the perspective of students? If they look at from the perspective of teachers, or if they look at from the perspective of university educational point of view, then it's fine. Students need to do their work and students need to complete their work in order to run the system, educational system. If they are not working on these assignments, or if they are not working or taking education, then there's no use of this education at all. However, if you look at it from the perspective of students, then we can find some alternative solutions for that. So it's very important to set the standard. From whose perspective, whom perspective you're looking at it. Whom do you have in your mind when you are looking at any problem? Is it the uh, criteria of money? Is it the money which is in your mind, or is for the organization uh, the income is more important as compared to the other aspects. So that's how the criteria works. Then the fourth point is the to identify, that is identity, to identify the alternative solutions. That is, you need to identify the alternative solutions for that. What are the possible solutions? Now there could be many solutions for that, and for that reason you need to brainstorm. That is, you need to keep in your mind different ideas. There are many members sitting in one meeting, and you can ask from them. You generate ideas. If we take that solution, then that will happen. If we take that solution, then that. So you are actually, combining ideas, and you are adapting ideas, and you uh, generating different ideas. That is through brainstorming. So how do you evaluate the solution and decide? Because now you're, brainstorming started, and you need to evaluate the solution, each solution. The first step is to sort through potential solutions to find the one or ones that will best solve the problem. So you need to identify the solutions. That is, let's suppose they say that a teacher should not give the assignments, a lot of assignments, or they can do it like on the basis of 15 days rather than a week. So that's how the solution can be. Now it's the brainstorming, different solutions would be coming. Your evaluation of the solutions would be coming. So you need to decide. So, you have to sort out through potential solutions, like the possible solutions. Now if someone is giving a solution that students should not be given any assignment, just give them lectures and that's it, then obviously there is a problem, because that's not even a solution. Why it's not a solution? Because then it's giving it's not the best solution for the problem, because it would affect the education of the students. If that's so, then the students would never study. So that's how we go through solving the this problem, and evaluating all the solution, and then towards the end we decide, right? Then we compare each of the alternative of the decision criteria. That is, you need to compare it. This is good or that is good. So should we go for 15, or should we go for decreasing the assignments complexity by the teachers? What should we do? Should we give easy assignments every week, or should we go for something which is like something which is 15 days or something like that, even if it's a difficult assignment? Concentrating on evaluating the remaining solutions, that is, you need to look into the remaining solutions, and you need to concentrate that what are the positive features of the other solutions that were given in the meeting. This discussion would eventually lead to one solution, or sometimes it happens that two possible solutions come in front of you, and among the many solutions which are given, so then you need to decide within those two. So if you have more than one option in any meeting, then what do you do? There are different methods that you can use. The first one is expert opinion method. If there is an expert sitting over there, for example, a person who knows about the students, and a person who also knows about the teaching staff, so and also know about the education, so that would be the expert opinion. Someone who knows both sides, or someone who is more expert in the education. So then they will decide. Or in any field, like for example, you are taking decision regarding some business plan. So then a person who is proficient in specific business idea would be the person to go for, or his opinion or her opinion would be more important. The average group opinion method. The average group opinion method is like, you have to look for the average. The more people who are voting for something, so its average is like, for example, you have to take average of who is voting for this one average, option and who is voting for the other average option. And the majority rule method is already there. That is, we all know majority is authority. So if you vote and overall all the people vote for one option, then it would automatically be the final decision. So once all are agreed upon one solution, then the implementation process comes in, and you need to ask certain questions when it comes to implementation. That is, what tasks are required by the solution? Now, what are the things that we need to do for the solution? So if it's, for example, students assignments, then what are the things that we need to do? That is, we need to make it in the written form, we need to communicate it to the teachers, we need to communicate it to the students in the form of message, or we need to devise a policy for that. How many marks would it contain? So this is the solution that we are bringing, the tasks which are required by that, by whatever solution that we have taken. Who will carry out these tasks? Now you have to identify the person. It is sometimes only one person who will do the task. However, sometimes it is more than two people, and then you assign task to every person, their respective tasks. What is a reasonable time frame for implementation? Sometimes some problems are quick to take action for, and you need to decide that. So what would be the reasonable time frame for the implementation? Can you implement it like within 2 days, within 3 days? Like, for example, when this online education decision was taken, it was very abrupt, because we thought that it is going to take time, but in the implementation process we were given at least a week to prepare our lectures, and there was a process going on the back of it, of which students weren't aware. So the time frame which was given to us to prepare for the lectures and then prepare for the process and all that, it was a time frame which was given. So any solution, you have to identify the time frame for that, and you have to act accordingly. If you don't have a lot of time, then you have to be quick. If you have a lot of time, then you have to devise a plan for that. How long are you going to give to each action in that specific solution?